fear that people have. It's just, it's something that people...
It is, but it's irrational because you know that plane isn't gonna... I mean, plane travel is more safe than automobile travel.
Yeah.
So the likelihood of something single-handedly crashing directly into your house, especially if you got pilots that are like, if you got a plane coming down, they're not gonna aim for your house.
Right.
They're gonna try to land in a field if they're still conscious.
Yeah. But it is, no, I get you. The sound is just so brooding. It's very, I think it is something with the sound more than anything else. It's just like, it can feel and feel and sound so far away, and then it instantaneously sounds like it's right next to you.
It does.
There's just something about that just is very creepy. But speaking of planes, how high they can go, people don't even want to risk that because there's like that fear of heights too. Fear of like whatever the hell is going to happen up there. You don't even know what's going to happen. Apparently 20% of adults worldwide have some sort of fear of heights. And it's like so weird. Like, why do so many people fear that? I think it's something to do with like, I don't know, just not being in control. Like being up that high, it's like one slip and you are just free falling and you do not have any control of what's going to happen.
Maybe they had a bad experience as a child where their parents threw them up in the air and like forgot to catch them. So now they're afraid
oh my
of
god,
heights.
they forgot to catch them.
Yeah. Or maybe they fell out of their fort as a kid. Because a lot of experiences come from like trauma, like a lot of fear. So I feel like if the trauma experienced happened as a young child, they're probably going to carry that with them throughout life.
Yes. Well, when you say fort, do you mean a what are those called? Like a tree house?
Yeah. Tree house,
okay.
Tree fort.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember when I was younger, we would be in the pool in the backyard, and my dad would like throw me. He would just like propel me up into the air. But like he would always catch me, or if he didn't catch me, I would fall into the pool, and I knew that it was like safe, which was weird. And like, dude, we've talked about before, I love roller coasters. I love all things like up there, but there is one. I know we didn't talk about it during the theme park episode, but I feel like it's more appropriate here with the fears. There is one ride I will always refuse to go on, and that is the ones where it's like a carousel, but it's a swing set. You know what I'm talking about? It's like the ones where there's like a bunch of swing sets in a circle, and then it goes up into the air, and then it tilts, and it just like spins everybody around. Yep. I refuse to go on those rides for the rest of my life. And I have tried so many times to ride that.
I'm just picturing little Kenny going on, all right, I'm going to overcome my fear for the first time. Here we go. And then you get up on there, and then your chain links on your fucking swing come off, and you go, wing.
Well, I'm gonna be real here with you. This is not because I just have some irrational fear. This comes from a real story. Let me go into detail.
Oh boy.
When I was a young boy. It was between the ages of 3 and like 6, 7. I don't remember the exact year. But locally there was this amusement park that was like fucking like what is it? Who's Bullwinkle?
Rocky and Bullwinkle?
Yeah, it was a Rocky and Bullwinkle themed amusement park. And
that sounds terrifying in and of itself.
It was
look at
pretty
those?
scary, yeah.
Those cartoons used to creep me out because they were like, weren't they being chased by like Russians trying to like kill them?
Something like that. I don't even remember it. That was like way past my time. You know, like that was like so far in the past. I don't even think I ever watched an episode of that. But regardless, that was what it was themed after. And it was like, you know, it was like a pretty nice park. It wasn't like Disney. You know, it wasn't like Universal Studios. It was like, you know, it was like that Adventureland type feel, like, you know, something local. So we're there for one of my close family friends' birthday. They have like all these arcade games and stuff. It's really fun. You know, we're playing a bunch of arcade games. We're playing all over this park. They got like, you know, some water rides, some kiddie coasters, all that good stuff. And then there's like this swing set. I went on the swing set. It was fine. Everything was great. Whatever. Nothing happened. We left the park, and when you're leaving the park, there's still like gates. Like it's like a chain link fence that you could still see through to the rest of the park.
Sure.
But I was on my dad's shoulders when we were leaving, and I can like see over the chain link fence, and I could see like a bunch of stuff that's going on in the park. And I look at this swing set thing like spinning around, and I like look away for like a second, and I hear an explosion, and I look back, and this swing set thing is covered in smoke, and I can see it slowly toppling over. People are still spinning around on this thing.
Oh my god.
And it just falls to the ground. And
are you serious?
I'm serious. So my dad, being like, you know, he's a good guy, he like puts me down and he runs back in, and he's like, he wants to like check on people, and like my mom like grabbed both my sister and I's arms, and we like ran back in, and it's just covered in smoke, and like there's kids just on the ground like crying in pain. And I don't think anybody died or anything, but I have not been able to ride one of those rides since that moment. I can't.
Jesus.
I cannot ride those rides.
Holy fuck, dude. No, I don't blame you, dude. If I saw something like that, I would be traumatized for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it was pretty messed up. I don't like it. And like every time I go to like a state fair or something and I see them, I've tried, but like I was usually with someone who wanted me to at least try it again, and I was always like, well, no, I don't think that's a good idea. And then I would always try it, and I would always be scared out of my fucking mind. Like this was like 2 years ago, like 2 to 3 years ago, I tried it again, and I still cannot go on them without like just shutting my eyes and like hoping that it's over immediately.
Jeez, do you regret going on it?
Since then, yes. Every single time I go on it, I regret it. So
even though nothing happened to you?
Yeah. It's so nerve-wracking as an experience to like be like, I don't know. I just don't.
I'm surprised you didn't throw up on everybody as you're up there. Just
dude, I'm queasy. I think that is when I am at my most nauseous. Is when I'm like God. Up there. Ugh.
That's so. How do those swings work? Like, I can't imagine everybody can fit into one swing, and there's got to be a weight limit.
Oh no! So they'll have like, you know, 2-seaters if the person's like too big, or like to distribute the weight. Like the people that run it know what people have to sit where, and if they have to pair up with somebody else or be alone and stuff like that. Like they could tell. People are trained for that. I'm pretty sure. I would hope people are trained for that. Yeah.
Trained tubby checker.
Yeah, exactly. But like, man, fuck that ride. Fuck that ride.
Well, if you're listening to this, make sure to offer Kenny as many rides on that as you can.
Nope. Let's go to something else. What do you got, Jake?
Okay, well, I want to bring it back to something still pretty fucked up, and that's the ever so lovely topic of serial killers, murderers,
Oh, lovely.
monsters.
People love to hear about that on a podcast.
Of course, but in an irrational fear kind of way.
All right.
So you know how when you go to the bathroom and the curtain is closed and you're never quite sure if you're in there alone, so you have to check the curtain every time, whether you're pooping or just washing your hands.
You mean like at home with...
Yeah, like you go into the bathroom, you open your curtain because you're like, fuck, is somebody in here? And you gotta like, it's like kind of like the same theory, like when you go and you're running from upstairs, like your basement, and you have to turn the lights off, and then you go quickly up the stairs. Go.
Dude, I hate that. Why does everybody have that? Every single person feels the same way about, like, I turn the lights off and something's going to get me. I gotta go.
I always pictured Pennywise, like, nipping at my Achilles. Like, and I just had to, like, climb up the stairs as quickly.
Dude, that's creepy. That's not good. I feel that though. I've had that pretty much my whole life. I like can't get around that.
Now, is that do you think that's a fear more of the dark or just like paranormal murder stuff?
I don't.
It's kind of a combination of the two if you think about it.
I feel like it's more of, and this kind of gets into something else I have. It's more of like a fear of like the unknown, and it's almost like an object permanence thing where. It's almost like a fear of not knowing what you have left behind in that darkness. And like you can't remember. It's not that you can't remember. It's more so you don't know if something new is there because you can't see it. You can't hear it. You just don't know what's there anymore 100%. And because you're not 100% sure, you're just like, get me the fuck away from whatever this situation is.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Ugh. So yeah, the big one, I think, for me especially, is like always checking to see if there's a murderer in the house.
You never know. You never know. And I hate that. I saw a movie a while back, the Poughkeepsie tapes. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
I haven't.
I despise that movie because it's not a well done horror film, right? It's not like really that scary as a horror film, but it was scary to me because it made it real. Like it made it seem like anybody could be fucking doing this. It's one of those like found footage films that we were talking about last episode of like, you know, just somebody fucking creepy being in a house.
That's fair. Also, I wanted to talk up to you about real quick. Do you have any like weird food irrational fears? Because I feel like food tends to be a hot topic of debate, especially when it comes to like swallowing watermelon seeds. Like, is that shit gonna grow back inside me?
Yeah, what is it, Rugrats? Is it gonna grow
like,
inside me?
I don't want fucking spuds growing out of my butt and, you know, taters on my taint. So
you don't want that.
That's one. But also, I wanted to ask you, have you heard about irrational fear of like food touching itself on a plate?
Oh, like different foods touching each other?
Yeah, so things have to be compartmentalized. Otherwise, if it touches,
dude,
they go nuts.
That
and I cannot imagine what Thanksgiving is like for that person. That's got to be hell on earth.
Oh my god, that is 100% true. Like
your yams fucking touched my potatoes.
Why did you even put the marshmallows on top of the sweet potatoes? Like, really? Oh my god. Like I'm not trying to like belittle people that have this fear. Maybe it does stem from something, but like to me it's just like I feel like that's like something rooted in the childhood of that person that just really doesn't sit well with the way that they interact with food in general, it's just